Hello, dear students. I'm Assistant Professor Rushali Ahel, and we are learning about the amylase production in the your fermentation technology part second subject. We have already seen the general introduction about the amylase enzyme. What are amylase, as well as what are the different types of amylase enzyme? We have already studied in detail. In this session, we will start with the actual production of alpha amylase enzyme at the industrial level. So, let's start with our today's point. Now, first point is sources from, or we can call it as a agent which are used for the production of amylase. Now, alpha amylase, it can be isolated from plants, animals, or microorganisms. All these three types of organisms have the ability to produce amylase enzyme. If we consider about the plants, this enzyme amylase, it have been isolated from the barley and rice plants. It is found that cassava mash wastewater is the source of alpha amylase. Whereas if we consider about human being, the saliva of human being also consists of amylase enzyme, but it have been observed, or various researchers have been proved that the microbial production of alpha amylase can give us high yield of such kind of enzymes at the cheaper cost. So basically, in the recent years, microbial production of alpha amylase is carried out on the large scale. Now, there are basically two important or two major reasons for using microorganisms for the production of amylase enzyme. Now, what are that two major reasons that we'll study? First one is the growth of microorganism is rapid, and as microorganisms can grow rapidly, this will increase the speed of production of enzymes as well. As microorganisms are easy to handle, they can be easily utilized for the production of amylase enzyme as compared to plants and animals. If we take plants or animals for the production of amylase, they will require large area or large space for the production. As compared to them, microorganisms require less place and serves as a more cost effective source for the production of enzymes. If we take animal source or plant source, it is very expensive for the production process. So this is the first important reason why we use microorganisms for the production. And the second major source, or the second major reason, is microorganism can be easily manipulated using genetic engineering or other means. Microorganism, they can be subjected to various processes or reactions like strain improvement, mutation, and other such changes can be easily carried out on the microorganisms, which can help to increase the production of alpha amylase. And alpha amylase, it can be produced by various types of microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, as well as different types of genetically modified microorganisms can produce alpha amylase on the large scale. So, the microorganisms are specifically used for the production of amylase enzyme. So, let's start with the which type of microorganisms are used for the production of amylase enzyme. Basically, bacteria and fungi are used for the large scale production of amylase. Let's study the bacterial source used for the production of enzyme. If we have to produce thermostable alpha amylase, then for the production of thermostable alpha amylase, basically Bacillus subtilis or Bacillus stereothermophilus, Bacillus licheniformis, or Bacillus amyloliquefaciens can be used for the production of alpha amylase, which is thermostable. For this purpose, we need to maintain some of the conditions like temperature should be maintained between 45 to 55 degrees Celsius. pH should be mostly neutral, but around 6 to 7 pH is optimum for the growth of these bacterial source. And incubation period near about 48 to 72 hours are required for the production of thermostable alpha amylase. Whereas other bacterial source like halophilic uh, amylase can be produced by using chromohalobacter species or Bacillus species, Halorcula hispanica or Halomonas melidiana are the other bacterial sources used for the production of halophilic amylase, which can survive in the high salt concentration also. The substrate required for the bacterial source for the production of amylase are maltose, sucrose, glucose, and the oil cakes. So these were all about the bacterial source used for the production of amylase enzyme. Now we'll see the fungal source used for the production of amylase. Basically, Aspergillus species are used on the large scale for the production of amylase enzyme, which includes Aspergillus oryzae, Aspergillus niger, and Aspergillus cavachi. And these Aspergillus species can grow properly at the temperature range between 30 to 90 degrees Celsius at pH 5 to 6, and it requires incubation period of 96 hours for the proper growth of alpha amylase. And then the second type of fungal species is the Penicillium species. Penicillium phyllotanum, Penicillium roqueforti, or Penicillium chrysogenum at the temperature range 30 to 55 degrees Celsius and 6 to 7 pH range, when incubated for 72 hours, can give the large scale production of alpha amylase. Basically, for the growth of fungal source, the nitrogen source are required at the larger amount. Or if we consider both bacterial source as well as fungal source, both required carbon source and nitrogen source for the proper growth and development for the production of alpha amylase. Carbon source include the different types of sugars like maltose, sucrose, glucose, and oil cakes, whereas nitrogen source includes inorganic nitrogen sources like ammonium sulfate, ammonium chloride, or ammonium hydrogen phosphate. There are various kinds of organic sources like peptone, yeast extract, and soya meal, which can provide a proper source of nitrogen for the exact and proper growth of bacterial and fungal culture. So, these were all about the raw material used for the media composition and the microorganisms used for the production of amylase. Now we will start with the methods of enzyme production. Now, our enzyme, it can be produced by two methods. One is semi-solid culture method and second one is submerged culture method. Or here we can also use solid state fermentation method and submerged fermentation method. So let's start with the methods used for the production of enzymes. First is semi-solid culture method. Now here in this method, the culture is grown on the surface of the suitable semi-solid substrate. Basically, wheat and rice bran are moist properly, and on these wheat and rice bran different types of nutrients are added, and on these, after the addition of nutrients, a proper production medium it is designed. Here the bran, it is mixed with the solution containing nutrient salts, and on this medium it is sterilized in the autoclave by the steam sterilization process. After sterilization, a neutral pH, that is 7 pH, is adjusted of the medium, and once a medium it is properly developed, after sterilization, these medium it is spread on the metal trays with the depth of 1 to 10 centimeter. So first what we did, we have taken wheat or rice bran. After taking this, it is dissolved in different types of nutrient salts like ammonium sulfate. After dissolving it with different types of salts, it is sterilized by steam sterilization method. After sterilization of medium, pH of the medium it is adjusted at 7 or at neutral pH, and then this medium it is added in the metal trays with the depth of 1 to 10 centimeter. After addition of medium in the metal trays, the inoculation process is carried out. Now here inoculation can be carried out by two methods. One method is after autoclaving process or after sterilization process, media is cooled and inoculum is added into the medium, and then this medium is spread on the trays. Or else, after the spreading of the medium inside the metal trays, culture is inoculated in the trays. Once the inoculation process is completed, the process is run for near about 48 to 72 hours if bacterial culture is taken, or else if fungal culture like Aspergillus niger is taken, then the process is carried out for 96 hours. And after the incubation period, high enzyme concentration in a crude or fermented material is obtained. Now there are different types of enzyme which are produced by semi-solid cultures like alpha amylase, which is produced by using Aspergillus oryzae. Then glucoamylase, it is produced by using Rhizopus species. Lactase enzyme is produced by Aspergillus oryzae. Pectinase enzyme, it is produced by Aspergillus niger. As well as Aspergillus niger and Aspergillus oryzae, it can also produce protease enzyme. And rennet enzyme, it is produced with the help of Mucor pusillus by the semi-solid culture method. Now there are various advantages of semi-solid culture, that is It requires low investment, means the capital cost required for the production of enzyme is very low. It allows the use of substrate with high dry matter content. It does not require high water content. The dried material can be also used for the production of enzymes. So, high enzyme concentration can be obtained in the crude fermented material, as well as it allows the microorganism to develop into natural state. In the natural conditions, the microorganism can grow easily, so it gives the high concentration of enzymes. There are few disadvantages of semi-solid cultures, like as it requires metal trays, so high space is required and more labors are required for the production of enzymes. Here, as the more labors are required and open trays are set, there is high risk of infection and contamination, and it is very difficult to set automated conditions, or to introduce automation technique in such kind of system is slightly difficult. So we go for the another type, which is submerged culture. Now we have already studied in our last semester about the submerged fermentation technique, which involves the liquid medium for the production of microorganisms. Here the microorganisms, they are submerged or incorporated deep inside the medium. Here the actual automated fermentation equipments can be used for the production of enzymes. Basically, in the submerged culture technique, cylindrical stainless steel tanks are used, which requires continuous agitation and aeration, as well as different types of automated system like cooling system and pH monitoring device, oxygen monitoring device, and foam controlling device are necessary to set inside the fermentation tank to carry out proper production of enzyme. Then only good growth of enzyme, it is not important. There should be high yield of enzymes carried out in this process. So the presence of inhibitors and inducers should also be checked inside the medium. Inhibitors are added to stop the growth of unwanted microorganisms or to prevent the risk of contamination, and inducers are added for the excess growth of enzymes. Certain surfactants in the production medium increases the yield of certain enzymes. Generally, here the non-ionic detergents like Twin 80 or Triton are basically used for the uh, fermentation process. Now, if we consider the advantages of submerged culture, it requires less labor as various processes are automated, so labors are not required. As all this process it is carried out in single container or single fermenter, so maximum space is also not required in the submerged culture technique. There is no risk of contamination or infection, and automation is very easier process. But the initial cost or the investment for the setup of this kind of technique, it is very high, which is a disadvantage of submerged culture technique. So we have studied in detail about the both the techniques used for the production of enzyme. Now we will start with the fermentation process and after fermentation process. So either we produced our enzymes by semi-solid technique or submerged fermentation technique. Once our fermentation technique is completed, it is very important to carry out the removal of our product. So once the fermentation is finished or completed, a fermented liquor is subjected to rapid cooling for about 5 degrees Celsius in order to reduce deterioration. Once our fermentation process is completed, immediately it is very important to decrease the temperature of the medium up to 5 degrees Celsius, because the high temperature may break our enzyme or reduce the activity of enzyme, or there is the chance of deterioration of enzyme. So rapid cooling is very important. After the cooling process, the separation of microorganism, it is carried out by filtration or centrifugation process. Now it is very important to check whether our product, which is amylase, whether it is produced intracellularly or extracellularly. If it is produced intracellularly, then we have to go for cell disruption method, in which we break the microbial cell and remove our product. If the product is produced extracellularly, then there is no necessary to break the cell. We simply go for filtration and centrifugation process. To obtain high purity of the enzyme, it is precipitated with the help of acetone, alcohols and other inorganic salts. And then the further purification process are carried out. Here you can see the production of enzyme by microorganism flow sheet. See, first we go for the preserved inoculum, which is a lyophilized culture of our desired bacteria. We go for the inoculum development. A medium, it is present inside the small conical flask. In that we go for the inoculum development, then it is added to the larger inoculation tank. Once a medium is or inoculum is developed, in our fermenter tank medium is added, then inoculation process is done. All the pH and temperatures are adjusted properly and fermentation process is completed. Once our fermentation process is completed, we go for the removal and purification of our product. Here, as our product is the enzyme, so as we have discussed earlier also, if enzymes are produced intracellularly, then we go for the cell disruption process. We have already learned what is cell disruption in our previous sessions also. So after cell disruption process, our next step is filtration, which in this filtration process we separate the cell debris as well as all the solid substance present inside the medium, and our filtrate contains our enzyme. Then we go for the removal of nucleic acid with the help of centrifugation process. Then various kinds of salt treatments like ammonium salts are used for the precipitation of enzyme. After this process, we go for cool storage, after which filtration is done, and then final purification of enzyme is carried out by the chromatographic technique. Once our final purification it is completed, a freeze drying of the product is done, and then the enzyme powder it is properly packed, labeled and sold in the market for the various purposes. So this is the production process of enzyme by using microorganisms. So here we have completed with the production of amylase enzyme. In the next session we will study the downstreaming process of amylase enzyme production. Thank you.